welcome to another edition of A Bit Delayed. I am your host, Patric Bean, joined as always by my co-host, George G. George, friend, how are you?
What is up, buddy? I love that. How you doing? That sounded great. I love that one.
Yeah, thank you, yes. You didn't hear the part where I screwed up the intro, and I couldn't decide. I called an audible at the last second on what I wanted to say, so I just took a long pause, and George made fun of me and just made the scissoring motion, not because that's the movie he's watching at home privately, but because...
How do you know?
Edit it out, and you're never going to hear. That's true, and I don't want to know.
Yeah, you're right. No, I love you. You called an audible like an amazing like NFL quarterback. That was great. You were just like, I'm changing this up now. This is awesome.
Yep.
So it was fun to watch on our end. So no one else will ever see it, and that's fine.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And I appreciate you bringing up NFL quarterbacks because I'm a Giants fan, and who the hell knows what's going to happen? That's
yeah.
Staring at my drink very sadly. It's a soft drink, but it's still. I wish it was alcohol. Thinking about the New York Giants.
Yeah, I'll just drink my drink in the process while we're
George drinking out of a Super Bowl Philadelphia Eagles cup, the most recent one when they beat Kansas City. For the record, we're delayed, but we're not that delayed anymore.
Well, actually, the funny part is this particular glass is the one from 2018. But yes, I am celebrating. I am celebrating this current year, and by the time this comes out, it'll still be this year because we're not going to be that delayed anymore. Yes, my favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, is world champions, and I'm okay with that. I do not say
you're only okay. You're not happy about it. You're only okay. Team that only won their first Super Bowl a few years ago.
Okay, first off, we're not a sports podcast, so to get into this would be really rough, and I could go against the Giants very fast. Second,
that's not what I'm asking. No, I'm questioning you being only okay. Your words, sir. Your Honor. He said, let the record show. He says he is only okay with the Eagles winning. Okay. I'm a Giants fan, and I'm happier than the Eagles winning than you are, apparently.
I'm ecstatic that the Eagles won.
There you go. It was
a very nice night. And if I start getting into the topics, we will never get back to our actual meaning of our podcast. So coming soon, the A Bit Delayed Sports Podcast.
The Sportscasts. A bit. We're spiked ball. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a good enough reference.
Great improv. We're only going to talk about the only two teams we care about. So,
well, listen, I'm a agent of chaos in that when Kansas City was in the Super Bowl in 2024, I was rooting for Kansas City because I loved all of the people who were upset that they had to deal with Taylor Swift on their television again, going into the commercial breaks. I loved that every hardcore football fan was just angry that, we have to see Taylor Swift in the press box. Everyone also was mad at Taylor Swift. She's just watching a game. She's not the cameraman or the director saying, put me on camera. But then, now with the Eagles playing against Kansas City, I was rooting for the Eagles, one, because I went to college in South Jersey, so they're my second team. Two, which I know makes no sense with the Giants being my first team, but I don't really give a shit. My life doesn't
I'll let it slide.
Thank you. But again, Agent of Chaos. It doesn't make sense. But I was rooting for the Eagles also because I wanted all of the newfound quote-unquote football fans, but not really. They just wanted to see Taylor's boyfriend win. Like this is some high school football movie of like, and then they get married after this. I wanted to just see them lose. So I'm so happy that at least for what I want to see happen at the Super Bowl, I'm 2 for 2 on.
Yeah. Let me ask you this one because I have been a person that in the past I've made particular gambling bets. We'll say. I guess you can say
gentleman.
Well, no, like there used to be rules about like radio and stuff, so I still don't know the rules about like podcasts about what you can and can't say. But then I was like, we also say fuck, so who cares? So I've gambled a lot in the past, and every now and then I will look at the stupid prop bets and stuff. Do you know what that is or what a prop bet is?
Explain it for the listeners at home.
I mean, the basic thing is it's stuff that the game doesn't really matter about the game. It's like will the coin toss turn out heads or tails? Like it's
gotcha.
You can bet on stupid things.
Yes.
And so this year, one of the things was will Taylor Swift be shown on camera more or less than 10 times?
Gotcha.
Because the last Super Bowl she was on 11 times, and the time before that was like 14 times or something. It was just like they literally take bets on how many times someone's gonna be shown on camera.
Gotcha.
There's bets on, the funny thing is I always think about it going like, if someone really wanted to, I think some of this information might be out there. Now, granted, you don't know what a camera director is going to choose, but like one of the bets I remember reading was how many jets are going to be in the military flyover at the national anthem.
Okay.
Just like stupid. Like, just I don't know. It's when I think about some things about sports, I go, this is what people are betting on. Like, oh my
Why
god,
not?
great story, great story. No, hang on. I'm so sorry. I know I got a topic I wanted to talk to you about, but I got a great story.
Mm-hmm.
My wife,
My wife.
sports, my wife,
I
sports
hate
story.
that I just did Borat. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. By the way, if he's interested, we'll also have him on the show. Now, anyway,
Sacha Baron Cohen, absolutely. Go on. Great story.
my wife. This was she reminded me of this story the other day, and it just like I was like, oh my god, I gotta tell Patrick that story. We were years ago. Oh, this was her first experience. Now, I am not a fantasy football player or anything like that. Like I don't really get
Okay.
into it, but it was one of those things that I was trying to help her learn, and we were doing like a fantasy football friends thing. And so I was trying to explain to her about the percentages of like when you choose people and how you choose them. And, hey, if this person has 60% or more, good. You should go like think about them as your choice in this, bracket or whatever you're choosing. Like
Right. Read the
whatever the rules.
statistics. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the rules were, I was trying to explain statistics and like, hey, don't go with a 40%er. They suck. Like, like whatever.
Right.
She is just randomly picking people and this and this and this. And I'm like looking at some of these people and I'm going like, I I realized once, all these choices are locked in, I go, what the hell did you do here? And like she's got, like 30 percenters and 40 percenters. What are you doing? And she goes, you told me to pick by the higher numbers. And then I realized this woman was picking her players based on their jersey number. I had all these linemen in the 80s and 90s. So, Patrick,
Oh no.
I remember saying to her, what are you doing? Thinking like, I know all this stuff about sports. She took second in the league that year.
Oh, perfect.
I said to her as we were getting that, I like, because again, I don't really understand it too much. I'm 100% gonna always tell anyone if you try to get me involved in fantasy football, I don't enjoy it. I enjoy watching
Mm-hmm.
football. I enjoy betting on the game. I don't need an additional let me be the coach. No, there's a coach
Right.
for a reason. I am not a coach. That's why I don't say my Philadelphia Eagles. They never asked me to dress for the team. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it as a fan.
Right
Like,
on.
so like when I saw this and I was like trying to help her out, and then she's like, well, should we change it? And I'm like, no, just like let's have fun with this. It's your choices. Let's go with this. And she ended up taking like second or third. I don't remember 100%, but like long story short, I remember like we're almost towards the end, and I'm like, you're gonna fucking win this thing. You're gonna fucking win this thing
Oh,
picking
perfect.
jersey numbers. Like, are you
Yeah.
serious?
That's amazing.
Uh,
I've heard that's usually
yeah,
how the leagues go, is the person who knows the least about football
yeah.
usually winds up winning the league in their first year playing.
It's
And that's I think it's
great.
part of why my friends never invited me, because I know so little about football, like the ins and outs. I mean, I understand how the game works overall,
Sure.
but I don't know like the nitty gritty. I can't tell you, oh, this person plays this position, and so they, their job on the team is like I have a basic understanding of offense, defense. That's where it
Sure.
starts and stops with me.
And I'm assuming you understand a receiver. They receive the ball.
Yes, things like that I
Okay. Yeah.
understand. Yeah,
A lineman is on the line.
I would certainly hope so.
The
The
quarterback is
quarterback
the quarterback
is
is the
the
one that kicks the
cashier.
ball.
Oh, the kicks the ball. Right. Did you say the quarterback kicks the ball?
Yeah, I
Even
was
I know
doing it
that
just
one.
okay. I was making sure you were
Okay.
listening.
Ah, I passed the test. Okay. The kicker
I like
throws it. Haha.
I, I
Waka
like how
waka.
I like how you thought I was gonna make a bank joke though. What the hell?
I know, I'm the one
And
with
then
the
you threw
stupid
a
bad
Waka
teacher.
Waka in there. What the hell are we at doing with ourselves?
Fozzie Bear is amazing.
What?
It's a great tag to a joke. Just ask my old friend Adam Lucidi. It was a great one.
Speaking of old friends, I feel like we're at like college radio right now. Waka Waka.
Whoa, hey, welcome to Pat George in the morning. No.
Do
So
oh my god.
what?
Nothing. I can't believe you just went there. Go ahead.
Why not? Just let's go full morning zoo crew, garbage radio.
Oh,
Last night on Friends. No. So no, at the school bus ride when I was in high school, we're going so all over the rails and I'm here for it.
oh my god.
The When I was in high school and I'd ride the bus to school,
Yeah.
they always had whatever the pop station was. And I remember consistently, every whatever morning, they would play a review on the entertainment news of like, this is what happened on Friends last night. And it was just like recapping the
Oh,
episode because it was like the ninth, 10th season of Friends, whatever it wound up being.
yeah.
And, they were building to the big penultimate conclusion. And like, so that was like the big thing in pop culture. So that's what they needed to talk about to fill time on that morning radio show.
See, and I remember because kids in my school they would uh well you'll get the reference, but there's a public radio in New Jersey that the school bus drivers was listening to. So I didn't we won't talk about that one. But I
Okay.
remember the kids with the speakers that would come on with their speakers, back before like, everything was so small. Uh
Hmm.
and they would blast the radio to outblast the bus driver. And
Hmm.
I remember every morning listening to Elvis Duran and the Z Morning Zoo on Z100.
Yes. I think that's the same radio station we listen to. And, every Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, whatever it was, the morning after Friends, they do that
Yeah.
review. Or they'd have,
And
just their entertainment reporter come in and
and
talk about
and then
entertainment news.
and then as people started to get older, they wouldn't blast it because we'd get in trouble. But I then remember people playing Howard Stern. Uh,
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
wow, different times. Anyway,
Yeah. I was too
actually,
busy trying to write jokes in high school.
well, that's
Or
actually kind of
ruin
where I
my
was
career
going
path.
with. That's kind of where I was going with this. Is we always talk about us in entertainment and stuff, and you mentioned college, so I wanted to know about what it was like as Patrick Bean writing in college. But you started comedy like back in high school though,
I did.
right?
Yeah. The first time I did stand up, I had no
I don't you
business.
don't you, I don't think you ever told me this, so I'm curious. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first time I
I'll
did,
cut you off like 6 more times.
sure, yeah, of course, why not? It's what all the greats do. So I knew I wanted to be stand up, as we've talked about before, from Opie and Anthony. I loved listening to the comics that they had on there,
Hmm.
and I was starting to scribble down in a notebook different jokes and bits and ideas I had, and there I joined like the theater program in my high school and did a play, and so the theater kids were starting to know me, and there was one guy who he wanted to do a fundraiser. One of the actually three of the kids of one of the guidance counselors in my high school, they had like they were very sick, so we were trying to raise money for their treatment and stuff. So they
Oh,
put
okay,
on.
yeah. You did.
Yes.
I'm half there. I remember this story from me
I was
and
gonna
you.
say, I think
Yep.
I've told you the story. So they were putting that on, and every act was either someone playing an instrument, someone singing, or someone dancing, or some combination of the three. And he wanted to mix it up, and he was like, "Hey, you want to do comedy? That's your goal. Do you want to do stand up at this event?" And I said, "Yup." And just decided we're gonna fake it till I make it. So me having never done any of my own
Oh
original
man.
comedy, I'd done comedic monologues, and I was able to recite other people's comedy bits because I was just a comedy nerd. But
I
here I
remember
am
this.
going, nope.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And so my dad estimates because I went to Jackson Memorial High School, which I believe now is becoming a middle school. I don't know. That's local news for somebody else.
Shout out to the what's the school mascot?
Jaguars.
Shout out to the Jaguars in Jackson. Go ahead.
The Jacksons. Ugh, that I cringed when you said shout out. Just so you know, we're not that cool, George. Not yet, at least. So the Fine Arts Auditorium at my high school was like a 1,200 seat theater. It
Damn.
was massive.
Okay,
Now,
yeah, that's cool.
we did not fill it, but by I know my dad has estimated, and we would probably say there was probably about 350 to 400 people in the audience that night. So the first time I ever did stand up
For a fundraiser
was
show.
for a fundraiser. Was
Wow.
not in some dive bar open mic, not at a comedy club open mic. It was a benefit show in my high school auditorium on the big giant stage for a few hundred people,
A-
400 people possibly.
And you said this is not your own material, so are you doing like
No, no,
bar
no. This is
jokes?
my material. This is
Oh,
my
this is your
material.
own stuff.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying. In the past,
oh,
I had, I could be the guy on the school bus or, in theater class reciting other comedians' bits,
got it.
like,
I was laughing at something else because I thought this was a story you told me about doing someone else's material. I apologize. So
no, no,
this is
I know what you're
this is
thinking of, but no.
this is you doing your own material for the first time in front
Yeah.
of 400-ish people.
Yeah. What you're thinking, just so no one's out there like, did Pat steal jokes? No, I did a theater
No, 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 no,
competition.
no, 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 no.
I did a Brian Regan bit.
Yes.
And cool story, which we can get into another time. I said it was written by Brian Regan in the playbill, and then I was lucky enough a few months later to meet him, and I got him to sign it. And it was just cool being like, I won this award for doing your material. At least I gave you credit. And he's like, ah. But he thought it was very cool. It was awesome.
That is
It was
cool.
very nice.
Okay,
Very nice moment. One of those times where it's, they say don't meet your heroes, meet your heroes when they're good people like Brian Regan. Anyway.
got it. That's where I thought we were. So when I was cutting
Yeah.
you off, that's where I was going, oh good, he's telling the Brian Regan story.
No.
Okay, but this is your own material
This
in
is
front
me.
of your school for a guidance counselor's kids uh fundraiser.
Yes.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, that was my
That's
first
an
time.
intimidating one. All right. How long did you do? 5
I,
minutes?
I did 10 minutes, George. And
You did Holy
yeah, most
crap.
people start with 5. I know some open mics maybe even only get 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I did 10. I said, no, let's do 10.
Wow,
And
dude.
it
Okay.
went well.
All right.
I did not bomb.
Because you're
but,
not a
like,
plumber now.
What?
You did well because you're not a plumber now. If it was a plumbing competition, it was a stupid joke. The
And
point is
you
you
made
did.
fun of me for making a cashier joke about a quarterback. Sir.
The point is, I
Sir.
was saying you're still doing comedies, so you could have bombed one time and been like, "Screw these people."
That's true. Plenty of people do that where they're like, "Nope, this isn't for me." No, I did well. The jokes were there. They just needed to be tightened up, and also I was 16, so the jokes were all about. I think about 5 minutes were about taking the SATs and things I observed in the room that day,
Okay.
and then the other 5 minutes was making fun of math class
Ooh,
because that's all I had to talk about at the time.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's,
remember.
you're right about what you know.
Well, so number one, the first question I have is, please tell me that one of your parents still has this video.
Unfortunately, they do.
Okay, good.
Both my
'Cause we
parents
gotta-
do. They're still alive. That was weird phrasing.
Yeah, that was.
They're still together. They're still alive. I don't know why you're like, one of them has it, right? It's called shared custody because they live together.
Of course,
It's on a mini DV tape.
that ages it right there.
It does age it. Yes, we're talking. This was January of
Coming out on
2005.
Laserdisc.
It could have. It could have. No, it was
January
January
05,
of
okay.
2005.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a mini DV of it, and I've watched it back a few times, and I hate it, and I don't think I can ever watch it back again because now where I am, it's so cringe-inducing.
Yeah.
Like I'm obviously not saying I'm the greatest comedian of all time, but I'm so much better than that little shitty 16-year-old kid. So
I
yeah.
understand completely. I have similar things with magic. I get it. Bro, that's awesome though. 400 people, like 10 like I get it that you're saying, "Oh, I did stuff in theater class or I did stuff on the bus." But like that's an intimidating experience for a 16-year-old. 400-ish people, the potential of being 1,200 people. Like,
And this memory just popped in my head. So I remember one, there was a photo taken. There was like local news was there. Maybe it was the school paper. I don't know. But there was a photo. It's probably lost to time now. But it was me sitting on like the set steps, because it's the high school theater, so they have the stairs preset
Sure.
for
Yep.
whatever. I was sitting on the stairs, going over my notes, just drinking my water bottle, and that was the moment where it was like, "Holy crap! What have I gotten myself into?" And this photographer for whichever the paper was, she took a photo of me, and I remember like the curtains were closed, so it didn't, shine out onto the stage. But there was that, I always think sometimes that's the last photo taken of me before I ever did stand up comedy. And I wish I had
Oh,
that
I
photo
love
because
that.
it's just 16-year-old me looking at my notes, water bottle next to me, just, you know, I don't know how well you can see my face because I was looking down, but just like, what have I gotten myself into? And that photo, I've never seen that photo. It's probably long gone by now. It was on somebody's memory card and is gone. But
But
I remember
you said it
that.
was a
But
a photographer for a newspaper?
it was either the school paper or maybe a local paper. I don't know.
Oh,
I
we gotta
don't know
find
for
this.
sure.
We gotta find this photo. So I'm putting this out as a
I would,
challenge. No, let's put it out. We gotta put it out a challenge. We got listeners. We got fans. We're getting this stuff happening. Make one of Patric Bean's stand-up comedy. Oh, I screwed up your whole name. Let's start that again. Make Patric Bean, stand-up comedian, happy with his career. He will know where he began. I want to find. I'm calling your father like tomorrow and getting this video and getting this video. But I want this photo. So this was Jackson, New Jersey
mhm.
in 2005 for a
Yes, January of
fundraiser.
2005. The
What was the
fundraiser was called
yeah.
Concert for the Cure,
Okay. And we think it was either a high school newspaper or local newspaper that has a picture of you sitting on a stage.
sitting on the steps backstage. Yes.
All right. Challenge.
I'm sure it's lost to time, but if someone can find it, I would love to see it.
Listen, I've had weirder things happen, so all you gotta do is put it out there into the universe. Somebody one day, you're gonna be like 60 years old, world famous, and someone will go, look at this photo I found.
Oh my, I would probably, no joke, I would get emotional and I would
All
cry
right,
because I've never
so
seen that photo before.
you can email us. That's what I was getting at because we have to put
Okay.
it out at least once every episode. We said that we're going to do this for promotion. So you can email us at the A Bit Delayed podcast. We are a bit delayed at gmail.com as of right now. Please make Patric Bean's dream come true. I want this photo for our podcast, man. That is amazing.
Yes, I would love that photo. But the part of why I was sitting there going, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Not only because there's 400 people in the audience, but the act I had to follow, the student who organized it was my friend Brian Tran. His younger sister was one of the people performing there. If she was 7, that's the oldest she could have been.
Okay.
Piano prodigy.
Oh,
George, her intro was that she had already played Carnegie Hall twice.
and you're following her?
And I'm following her with my... Man, aren't the SATs crazy? This weird kid over here is popping his pimples with the number 2 pencil. I thought that was clever because alliteration.
I love it. Oh my God.
So I'm sitting there reading my notes, listening to Mozart or Beethoven, some classical music, looking at my notes going, what have I gotten myself into? And then, yeah, somebody snapped that photo. But I followed a 7, maybe 8 years old piano prodigy playing just on the grand piano that they had at the high school.
That is amazing. Oh. So then where did you what was your next so this is what year were this in high school? What grade were you in?
So that was my junior year.
Okay, so then you still did comedy one more year in high school? Because we've talked about your college stuff, so I'm curious.
Yeah.
Origins of Patric Bean.
Yeah. Thank you. I did the high school talent show a few months later,
Okay.
and I did the SAT routine again.
Well, it's classic, of course.
Classic, of course. Well, no, it was the rules were if you were a solo performer, you only got 3 minutes of stage time, and then virtually for like every person you added, you got another 3 minutes. So if you had a whole big dance team, you could in theory do 20 minutes. You're not going to do that, obviously. They would limit you to one song. But because I was solo, I only got 3 minutes. So I had time for one bit. I did the
Okay.
SAT routine, and when I tell you I bombed, it's arguably one of the hardest times I've ever bombed. I don't remember it just because it's my first bomb, but because it was an epic bomb.
Oh,
Because again, same venue. It's a 1,200 seat theater, except this time it's probably much closer to being full because it's the big annual talent show.
yeah.
And if I could make it a cartoon, I would be on stage talking, and it's a big theater, so it's just black space in front of me. I can't even see the front row because I just have the big spotlight on me. It's just I'm talking into a void. I can see the
Yeah, of
control
course.
booth, the tech booth, but that's it.
Yeah, you're seeing one spotlight.
Yes, if I could animate it, the words would come out of my mouth and then they would just drop onto the stage. They wouldn't even make it out into the audience because I would say the punchline and, hundreds and hundreds of people were dead silent.
Oh,
Not even pity laughs, not even
oh.
chuckles, but I would say probably 90% of the punchlines I had were met with silence. The other 10%, maybe some chuckles from, a few voices in the distance in the void.
So my question is one of two things.
Mhm.
Number one, do you think that the fact that 400 people had already heard this routine, so they're not
Yeah.
laughing because they're like, the heck, just hear me out. They're not hearing this routine. They're like, oh, it's not new. We just heard it a couple months ago, whatever.
Hmm.
And the other group, whatever the remaining 60% of the audience is
Hmm.
like the parents who are like the SATs, like they don't
Right.
remember. That's like I'm just curious as to like it's only 3 minutes. How do you not be like supportive of the kid at the talent show going, all right, I'll give him a chuckle. Like damn, the kid's trying.
I don't know, man.
They're like,
They just
boo.
I'm they didn't boo, fortunately, but because
Oh,
it
they just
was
they were
wasn't
just like they don't
so
know what they do.
we know what it was. It wasn't that it was so bad it was boo worthy. It
Yeah.
just wasn't good enough to elicit a laugh.
Oh.
It was this weird, like, oh, okay,
Oh.
I get what he's saying, but I'm just not
Yeah.
gonna laugh out loud.
It's
So yeah,
it's
but that
the
was
it's
painful.
it's definitely the reference that we made before. I know me and you've talked about this, so I'll just put it out here. Is uh the idea of like the worst insult you could do to a comedian when they make a joke is going, oh, that's funny. I would laugh at that.
Yeah, in normal conversation, sure.
Yeah, like
Like
oh,
I'm okay with getting that from a comedian
oh no,
because it's hard to make each other laugh.
no, I love when you just get someone with it. It's one of my favorite things to do is someone's like got such a lead into something and you're just like, all right, here comes my laugh, and the person just like completely bombs it and just goes, oh yeah, that's funny. I would laugh at that. You're just like, oh, that's a setup for nothing. You never I don't know, man. I appreciate that. We've talked before about how I love sometimes other people's misery, but like, oh, that's one of my favorite moments when you just get someone in a joke. I don't know.
See, I go the other way where and I almost did it to you earlier,
Of course you did.
where when you go when you go like great story or I have a funny story for you. No, let your audience tell you it's going to be funny. So when
You're
people are
right.
like, "Oh, I got a funny story for you." There's a moment Jim Norton used to do this again on Opie and Anthony. If a
Sure.
caller would say, "Oh, I got a funny story for you," it'd be like, hang on. I don't take this lightly. Let me put on my laughing cap. All right,
Oh
sir,
God.
proceed with your very funny story. Like, tee it up like, oh boy, this
Ah,
George, or, this caller's got a great story. Let's
here
hear what they
comes a good
have.
one.
Here comes a. Let me prepare myself. Let me make sure I'm seated firmly in the chair so I don't fall
He's-
out from laughing. Go ahead, sir. Tell me the funny story.
I
And then,
I
of course, it
remember
doesn't
this.
live up to that.
I remember
That's
this.
where
That's
my
it.
brain goes.
Oh, that was a humdinger. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's
oh
a
my
real knee
God.
slapper you got there. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I
Stuff like
remember him
that.
doing that. Oh, see, now I'm gonna be like self-conscious like every time I tell someone it's a funny story now. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Jim Norton is the man. I forgot about that. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. So that's where. So you
Oh,
like to hit the end of their story with, "Oh yeah, I'd laugh at that,"
yeah.
which is great. But if
Yeah.
you do it at the beginning, where you're like, "Oh, hang on, let me put my laughing cap on,"
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
puts the pressure on them of like, "Oh crap, I really do have to say it in a funny way now."
Now, see, we've
I
done
hope
that as
this really is laugh out loud.
we've done that as magicians. So like you as comedians, I'll tell you this is one thing that I think is amazing about your community, wherever you are. I mean, you're based in the Phoenix area, so you can now speak about Phoenix, but I mean like the LA community in comedy. I know right now uh sorry, Austin. I couldn't think of the town. I was trying to think of it. I was going
Hmm.
San Antonio, and I was like, no, that's not. It's Austin.
Nope.
Austin doing amazing. The New York, of course. Every major city you could think of the comedy circle and the core people.
Hmm.
And you guys go out to open mics together. You guys, you see each other at different ones. You end up opening for somebody else, or you end up working with somebody else, and you see them down the road, or oh, we were crossing in the club path. I get all that.
Hmm.
Magicians, the only times I think we have that is conventions. So we get together at
Yeah.
conventions and we get to bullshit about each other. But like we don't there's very few locations that when you're working a magic theater, it's like three magicians and then like the local guys who are local people who are also doing like the pre-show work, the I'm helping out with the tickets, I'm doing this, I'm the bartender, that kind of thing. And it's usually
Hmm.
only like, three performers that are coming in and that's the thing. So we don't ever get to hang out with like a group of people,
Right.
in my opinion.
Hmm.
So when I hear you saying this, like I just automatically picture like playing these jokes on Friends and stuff. So like that's where I'm going, like that's how I end jokes. And the one I can picture now where you're saying that about Jim Norton and oh, hang on, guys, this is going to be a good one,
Yeah.
is like we sometimes have people who are like, hey, man, can I show you something? Can I show you what I'm working on? And like just to fuck with somebody, I'm going to be like, uh, all right, hey, guys, Jim wants to show us a card trick. Everyone come and watch Jim. Like, yeah, Jim said it's going to be amazing. The best thing you've ever seen.
Oh, just throw him under the bus.
I've never, like, see, I'm not the type of person who like jumps down someone and like ruins something at the beginning. That's a good one to do at conventions. Oh yeah, I like that.
See,
Thank
I
you, thank you, Patrick Bean and Jim Norton. That's amazing. I love that.
see. I can say at least in Phoenix, we don't really do that to each other.
Okay.
There's enough actual drama in the Phoenix scene, which I don't want to even get into. But my God, it's every week someone hates someone, and this person is saying this, and
Well, but again, that's with
whether
every
I
community. Magicians are the exact same. Comedians
I
everywhere else are the exact same. You always hate someone for something.
I know, but I just stay out of
And
it
you
and
hope
just
it's
try to
not
get along.
you.
Right. Knock on wood, I've yet to piss off somebody, which maybe means I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. But like we don't do, at least like me and my friends, we don't do that with each other like to that degree. I mean, we'll roast each other. Like for example, I'm planning on going to the open mic at Mic Drop Mania, or now it's just Mic Drop Chandler Comedy Club out here, and my friend Anthony hosts it, and he will roast people at the end of it,
Okay.
good, bad, or indifferent with their sets. He'll roast. I mean, if someone's a real
As
pompous
as the
ass, I've
host?
seen, yeah, as the host,
Okay, got it. Yep.
but like playfully. Like
Yeah.
if someone's really pompous, because we've had people go up who there was one guy who he was sitting in the front row, arms folded, not laughing at anything, and of course that catches some comedians' eyes. So they try to talk to him,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for the jokes to start." Some stupid
Oh yeah.
like.
Yeah, they think
Then
they're
you
the clever one. Oh, you thought of that one yourself?
Yeah. Well, then come to find out, they're on the list to perform that night. So now not
Oh.
only are they not laughing at anybody, they think they have something to come up and
Oh,
do.
you done
So
fucked
then
up.
that guy, I remember there was one night a guy got on stage, and at this point he had been there for a while because he got there late. So he was low on the list. So he's maybe like the 20 something comedian. We've all been there for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe at this point. And he goes
Wait,
up, and of
can I
course,
ask? Can I ask you real quick? Because when we say open mic, we do got to clarify one thing.
sure.
Is this an open mic, like as in also a bringer show where the more time you get, or is this like an open mic where it's just you and the other comedians? Like,
It's
what's the crowd like?
So it's mostly other comedians, but I will say Mike Drop's done a good job of getting getting some, as Anthony calls them, normies or
Yeah.
normals, non-comedians. Will sit in and take it in like they know it's an open mic, so people are trying out jokes, which is part of
Okay.
what Anthony makes fun of everyone for, where he's like, listen, some of these jokes are going to be really funny, and some of them
Sure.
are things that should never be said out loud again.
Yeah.
Like,
Got it.
like you're going to hear and everything in between. That's kind of how
Yeah.
he tees it up to the audience.
I just making
So,
sure that it's not because I do hate that one little thing about open mics. Me and you, I know we did one in Jersey together, and it was just the other performers. And like I I will support other performers when I'm at an open mic. So I
mhm.
will, even if I don't like your act, I'm gonna, at least, oh, okay, yep,
Still
that's
pay
where a
attention,
clap,
right?
yeah, that's where a clap should be, because you should have a little bit of respect for the other
Hmm.
performers if they're gonna watch you. But I like that there's at least a crowd. That's what I
Yeah.
was getting at.
Well,
Is like, yeah, sorry.
I will say comics out here in Phoenix are more supportive than that story you're talking about, where they go up on stage and then they just sit and bullshit 5 feet to the left of you,
Yeah,
right almost off stage where you can't even hear your own thoughts.
yeah,
Yes, very different.
yeah.
No,
Just making sure
Phoenix is
we're on
better
the.
than that.
Obviously, you're giving him a pitch by saying his name on here, so I know you're happy with their product. I'm just like, in my head,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to picture this situation. That's what I said. I don't know what the hell that word was. Uh,
I'm gonna buy you a dictionary. Go on.
it's literally. So when you Jesus, I'm so lost right now. When you
You're at home, George. You're
Oh
in
my
your
God.
office, in
I
your
am in my
studio.
office. When you picture this, and I want people to understand this scenario, because we do have people that are trying to understand from where you're at. So that's what I was in my head going, what is the scenario as a performer? What am I
Mhm.
looking at on
Yes.
stage? Is there five people in the crowd? Is there an actual crowd? So I was just in my head picturing this, and we have gone way too long for this.
No, well, I'm gonna finish the story, but
I want to hear it. It's the problem
yeah,
is that I ask one question and we're like 15 minutes into one question.
then it spirals. Fair, 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 fair. So yeah, it's just welcome to a bit delayed, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We only get better. So
Can't
at this
get much
point,
worse.
hey, got to start somewhere. So the open mic I'm talking about, so it's not a bringer. There's still some non-comedians in the audience, but there are mostly comedians. And at this point, a lot of people who are there are comics who have either already gone up and they've seen this guy just kind of arms folded, mean mugging them a little bit,
Okay.
or they've watched all the other comics go up and they're like, yeah, that guy's kind of being a dick. Like, I don't know what's happening. So he gets up and, again, because he was, and like, even the manager at one point had come over and be like, hey, man, is like everything okay? Because he like happened to pop out into where the room the open mic was in, because there's the main room inside where like the normal Thursday night show is, the out of town
Okay.
headliners doing the first show of the weekend. And then the open
Sure.
mic's outside in like the comedy garden, the outdoor venue that they have there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yep. Of course. Of course. Cool.
So he makes his way through both rooms, just check on how everything's going, of course. And so he like went and talked to the guy to be like, hey, is everything cool? He's like, oh, I just, and he tried to be like, oh, I don't know, I'm not finding anything funny yet, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, okay, do you, and like everything's calm. Like there was no like, he
Yeah.
wasn't like heckling, but he's just sitting there mean mugging everyone. So now he gets up, it's his turn. It's mostly other comics and the few other normal people who have also noticed this guy is not really like being the best audience member per se, right?
Sure.
So he gets up, and again, because he's later on the list, he's had a few beers, so he's pretty buzzed. He's having some trouble forming words. You know what that's like. And I had to hit you with just a light jab, buddy. I love you.
I'm
So
trying to let you stay on topic. I have so much I want to say, and like the ADHD and cannabis together is really making it fun for me not saying anything. Continue.
thank you. So he goes up, and he's trying to do a bit where he's talking about how he hates being single, and we very quickly were realizing why, because he just can't fucking laugh at anything.
Yeah, maybe this is how
Oh,
you act to your wife. Is just mean mugger the whole time.
yeah, exactly. Oh, you're single? No, no wonder. Yeah, he couldn't even get a wife, let alone girlfriend, right? According to this act. So he goes up and he says, "I've been on the dating app. So what I've noticed is that there's three different types of women." So he starts labeling the types of women. Now he's teed it up. There's three different
Okay.
types, right? Comedy number three, everything in threes. It's the old adage, right?
Yeah.
We all then so he goes, and the third type is blah, blah, blah. And he's not getting any laughs at this point. He goes, now there is another type. And we're like,
So
okay,
now there's four.
so there's four. And then so he does whatever attempt at humor there, falls flat. He's like, okay, now there is another one I haven't talked about yet. Now at this point, we've all caught on. Every comic in there, we all have our hand up and we go, all right, we're up to five. We're all keeping track. He doesn't acknowledge it. He goes, now I know I said there's three, but there's another one. So now we're at six, and we're
Six!
all looking around, looking like we're all in this. Fuck this guy, right? Yeah, fuck this guy. And so we're keeping count. This man labeled or claimed there were. So he started the bit with, "There's three different types of women on dating apps." The final tally was 9 types of women
Oh my god.
on dating apps, and he kept and again he was intoxicated enough where he was very stumbling on his words, so there's a lot of pausing, and he just kept going back to the phrase of like, so the different types of women, like that was just almost a mantra that he just kept saying out loud into the microphone whenever he was lost for words. And he ran the light horribly, meaning,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
okay, if you have, this one is a very popular mic, so usually everyone gets 4 minutes. So he maybe hit minute 6 because Anthony was being nice and realizing we're all having a ball watching this man bomb.
Yeah.
So eventually he like waved the flashlight. He was like, yep, get up. Eventually he just walked up. He was like, yep, get off stage. You're done. You ran the light. That's what this means. You're done. And like, and the guy's like, oh, what? I didn't. Okay. And like sits down and he's like, yep, next time, you know, go home, write some punchlines and then come back and try it. You know, like little, like,
Wow.
I mean, that guy deserved it. But then,
Wow. Bro,
yeah,
okay, now has he come back? Have you seen him back?
I have not seen him.
Oh, that's like I mean I get that. I mean, because here's the thing is that and we've talked about this about professional wrestling is you're entering someone's realm. Like you know, even if you're not a what do you call it? Polished. Even if you're not a polished comedian,
Mm-hmm.
that stage is your home. Like so like you're coming into my home and not stepping up. And they say this a lot in wrestling of like you fans that rush into the ring. No, you're gonna get your ass kicked because that's their home. You're not gonna fuck with my home. Like, that's in my mind how I'm hearing this. So like I'm all for all you guys counting up to 9. That's amazing.
So much
That's
fun. Some comedians can only
9.
count to 9, so I'm glad he stopped when he did. But
Oh, what a premise! This is now, let me go with this one. What do you think would have happened if he went? All right, so there's only 9 different types of women online. I think around 7, someone would be like, "Man, we still got more."
you still got well. The best. So the kicker is he sits back
He
down.
started with 3.
He teed it up as 3, came out with the grand total was 9. So he after he gets off stage, he sits down.
He'll be
he
opening
watches,
for you next week.
Hang on.
Oh no!
He sits down, he watches a couple more comics, and then Anthony goes up to, the one of the other open mic comics gets off stage. One of the comics doing the open mic. I don't want to label everyone as an open micer.
Sure.
It's a whole other topic. So
Oh no!
comic gets off stage, Anthony gets up to get ready to introduce the next comic coming to the stage. And this guy stands up and he kind of like slowly walks, and he was sitting in the front row, so not a very long walk, but he takes a couple steps up to the stage, and Anthony's like, are we gonna fight? Like, what? Why are you right here? He was like, no, can I say something? And Anthony's like,
What?
Anthony's like, you know what? He's like, are you getting ready to leave? He's like, yeah, I just want to say something before I leave. And Anthony's like, you know what? I feel like the comics will be okay with this. Sure, here's the microphone.
Oh,
Steps to
no.
the side, and
Oh,
this guy
no.
steps up on stage. Now, I'm thinking, because just the way this guy approached Anthony, I'm thinking in my naive little pure as gold heart that he's gonna go, you know what? I realized like I was kind of shitting on you guys before, but like this is tough. I'm sorry.
No,
I was hoping that's what was going to happen
no,
because
no.
that would make
Someone
me feel good.
someone does
No.
that, they're about to double down. Someone
Hmm.
they're
Yeah, no.
either gonna explode or talk to you about Jesus. I mean, one of those two things is about to happen.
That is why I teed it up as my pure as gold naive heart, my naive
Okay.
heart of hearts.
Yeah.
Was thinking that he was gonna say something. He goes like, I think he said something like, "I don't think you guys were like really listening, and like whatever. Like I'll come back next week and do it, and like you guys will like it next time. All right, it's fine." And then he was like walking away. And so then Anthony was like, I think that's actually when Anthony was like, "Go home and write punchlines for what you have, and then we'll judge and see if it's funny." And
See, clearly it was just you guys didn't get it. I mean, he's much funnier than you
that's
realize.
exactly what he said. He goes, "I don't think you guys got it." And we're like, "Okay, no, we get it. We get it. You're a lonely boy.
Enjoy your liquid courage.
Yeah, enjoy that Uber. I certainly hope you're
Oh, I hope
Ubering
you
home.
Ubered home. Oh my
I
God.
hope he Ubered home. I don't want traffic to divert my drive
Now, hang on a second. So we talked about you bombing at that show in front of 1,200-ish people.
in high
Like,
school when kids are
yeah,
so
yeah.
friendly.
No, yeah, that's kind of where I was going with this. Is
No, actually,
like,
everybody was.
but you obviously, that's listen. We've all had crappy nights in front of
Mhm.
audiences, entertainers. Um, but like when you, I guess what I'm getting at is like you then went into. I know you went to college and you did improv, but like,
Mhm.
at what point did you say like? What was it the Carlin story of when you were like, this is what I definitely want to do? Like when was it in your life that you're like, I'm a comedian? Like I'm gonna like whatever other job I'm doing on the side, I'm a comedian. I know when it was for me for magic.
Uh,
That's why I'm just curious for you.
yeah. So I think. I mean, it was always like that thing of like, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. I think it might have been when the only example popping into my head is so the third time I did it while I was in high school. It's just not to
Okay.
be like, oh, it's just linear, but so I did the talent show, bombed.
Did I tell you I
Right.
also do mind reading? I knew this was gonna happen.
No, thank you. Yes. If you could never mind. Um,
Stupid.
yes, I was gonna make an even hackier joke, so I'm
I
keeping
know.
it in.
I saw it. I saw it in your eyes. I was like, "Ooh, here it comes!"
I don't know
No.
why when it's a podcast mic, it becomes the hackiest jokes that I will behind closed doors make fun of other people for. But now here in this moment, they just
Whatever.
come. It's like opening a faucet and the water just comes out.
I've told you this before. I don't know how it started with me and you and the cheesy radio of the and we're back. But like that whole talking about me, like, I don't know if we've done it on here, but I know we've done it before. Me and you is just a
Hmm.
joke. And bro, I was doing that for so many years with people. I remember doing it playing pool in Germany in like 2008-ish. I remember doing it making that joke with a friend of mine in Atlantic City before I got married. I mean, like the fact that like more than a few people have had this stupid hacky radio joke and that it's now becoming a thing that you just keep going back to in the podcast, it makes me so happy. And it's not even like we meant to do it as a joke. Like we just were like, I love when friends have like just a stupid reference. And for us, it's all right, it's Pat and George in the morning. It's so
Yeah,
stupid. What the hell is wrong with? All right, go ahead. My bad.
everything's wrong with us, George. That's the answer. So
Yeah, you two can be as well as fans of the A Bit Delayed
you
podcast.
too. The third
Oh, a great reference.
George texted me a Brian Regan reference before. That's all that was, folks. That's the inside baseball for you tonight. So the third time I did stand up, I was still in high school. So like I said, I did the talent show my junior year, bombed. I tried to audition for the talent show the following year, completely blanked on the bit I wanted to do. So obviously did not get picked to do stand up that year.
Wow.
Yeah, totally blank. I wound up doing the Who's on First routine with a friend.
Okay.
As every comedian's rite of passage, I found out later on, where it's like, oh, you did that too. I'm not special. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Did you at least
so
dress like Yankees?
yes, we wore
Okay.
Yankees jerseys and hats. Yes. So they did for my senior year as a fundraiser for prom, they did the Mr. JMHS, Mr. Jackson Memorial High School competition. so all the seniors could jump in. And my English teacher, who was very supportive of me doing comedy and loved that I was a writer and, like to write my own jokes and stuff, she encouraged me. She says, "Hey, this contest has a talent portion because, it's like a male beauty pageant is the format. There's a talent portion. I'm just thinking you could go do stand up. Like you have 5 minutes to go do a talent. You could do 5 minutes of stand up." And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And I just wanted to do it so I could do stand up.
Okay.
And I had put a lot of pressure on myself because now I'm like, okay, it's my third time. It's the same room I've done all the stand up in. One time went well. The last time was really crappy. Like, how do I make this work? Because it's not just I'm doing stand up. I have to do, there was a part of like, oh, best pickup line. Then there was talent. Then there was the swimwear competition. Then there was the formal wear competition. And then like the impromptu question you have to answer. Whatever. Like there's all these things
Wait,
that I had to do.
hang on a second. Hold up. You just skipped
Oh
over
boy.
that.
Oh boy. George, we're running out of time, but okay.
Are you telling me that you wanted to do stand up so much that you in high school were like, I'll stand in front of my school in my bathing suit?
So ever the comedian.
You did a swimsuit competition to get a 5-minute spot?
So it wasn't just a swimsuit competition, I'll have you know, because then I would have lost. For spoilers, George, I came in third place in this competition. I'll have you know.
I'm very happy for you. I'm excited about wherever this story is going. Well, you can't just skip over that you were in a male beauty pageant and there was a swimsuit competition just so you can get 5 minutes. I mean, I've done a lot of shitty things for a bringer show, but holy shit, dude, I've never been like, let me get in my Speedo and stand in front of my high school senior class. Are you kidding me?
See, George, you're focusing. George, you're focusing on the wrong detail.
What was the? Oh my god! Hang on a second. Tell me, like you made a speech about world peace or something. Like,
no, the. Are you asking about the question part?
How would you, as Mr. Jackson Memorial? How would you, as Mr. Jackson Memorial, change the world, Mr. Bean?
No, they weren't even questions like that. My question was something stupid like, if you had, what is it?
I'm sorry,
what's
that
the
was
little...
too good.
No, that's great. I love where you're taking this. That's perfect.
That's great. I'm sorry. That's amazing.
No, don't. The question. Well, the question was something very anticlimactic. It was something like, if you had a hermit crab as a pet, what would you name him and why? It was like a really low stress question.
Oh, on the Jersey Shore, that's not a question. Like, everyone had hermit crabs.
Right, but that's my point. Like, it wasn't a question about world peace or how do we improve the education department or how do we do right. It was none of those that you would see in a Miss America pageant. This was like, hey, what would you name your hermit crab if you had one? Like, very low state. It was also the end of the night. Wow. People were tired. I think they just wanted to get through the questions. No,
and so just because No. I'm gonna get back to the comedy. I have plenty of time. So my question is, what were the other categories?
Well, I was gonna say you're very focused on the swimwear, but
that's funny.
I'll get there. No, so it was. I think there was best pickup line. There was song and dance. There was a song and dance routine everyone had to do. Then there was talent. Then there was swimwear. And then there was formal wear, and then there was the impromptu question, and then the judges tallied their votes.
Clearly wasn't an English competition. Now,
thank goodness.
All right.
Thank goodness.
I went off the rails, but that was too good. I did not know that story. Please tell me how you finished comedy and you took third place.
You don't want to hear about the swimwear?
Oh, I mean, if you got a story about it, because wow. All right,
well, so here's the thing. I'll tell you the comedy thing. We'll end on swimwear, because I know we got to go.
I've never thought about... Now, first of all, like, the point I'm getting at is, like, even if you're not a nerd, I think people think they're always more nerdy than they are in school, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yes, absolutely.
So, like, I would have never... regardless that people respected me for different things that I did, I would have never in 1,000 years, senior year in high school, got up in front of my classmates in a male beauty pageant. I mean, not just because of the swimsuit, that's just not a thing I would do, but like that's a lot of vulnerability, and just to get a 5 minute spot, that's where I'm impressed with the story. That's where I'm laughing so hard. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, so there was one guy who his talent, which it's really a skill, not gonna lie, his talent was he deadlifted a lot of weight on the stage. So they actually
Okay.
lugged from the gym over a bunch of like 45-pound plates and a barbell and some like mats, so it didn't,
Yeah.
destroy the stage. And he
Yeah.
like deadlifted a lot of weight, right? Cool, whatever. So he, of
Wow.
course, was like, yeah, and showed off and, was walking no shirt on and stuff. And I think pretty much all the other guys did that. But me, ever the comedian, I decided I was going to wear my normal swim trunks, so like swim shorts, normal length, right?
Uh-huh.
But I also wore scuba goggles and had the little like, what you call it, snorkel. I had like
Snorkel,
the
yeah.
snorkel. I had on a white t-shirt and a Hawaiian shirt over it. I had
Okay.
swimmies on. I had
I
swimmies
got
on
you.
my arms. I had an inflatable flamingo on
Of
my
course you did.
waist, the little
You just
donut,
you
and
just went
and I also
1980s hack.
and I also wore scuba flippers and
Oh, I
stumbled
love it.
around on stage where I had to
Uh,
like Daffy Duck flip flap as I walk on stage. I almost tripped at one point. I
oh, I
embellished
love
the
it.
trip once it happened, but I did almost eat it while I was walking. While because we all had dates. It was it's Patrick Bean escorted by Jessica so and so. I won't give her last name, but
I
so
absolutely
she
love
has to
this.
sit there and like, just hold my arm and walk out and, whatever. But like she helped me not fall and eat shit that day. So thank you, Jessica. Um, but yeah, so
um,
she was also a great sport in the song and dance competition. We did everybody was kung fu fighting. I put her in one of my old karate gis.
that's cool.
And I was, to one person's point, I was the only person to actually sing and dance. Everyone else either did one or the other. We choreographed a whole thing. We had
That's
like a
cool.
fake kung fu fight, even though it's karate kung fu. It's the same problem with the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie. I digress. So, but we did a song and dance bit, and of course I made it funny. There's one point she kicks me in the balls, and I sing really high pitched. It was great.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a fun, like
Yeah,
hit some point.
you definitely up the so it wasn't just a 5 minute spot. You also had this to be a physical a comedian. You had this to
I
be a visual comedian with the
Yeah,
swimsuit.
I did
So
everything you would imagine they would do in like the '90s sitcom, where it's like, oh, it's the
yeah,
Mr. High School pageant. What do we do? I played it up. I was very Saved by the Bell in this whole thing,
please
plus a stand-up routine.
please tell me you did like the Dumb and Dumber tuxedo.
No, no, the historians say, and by historians I mean my parents make reference to it. Anytime
Yeah,
this randomly will come up in conversation. No, the so one of the local tuxedo shops was doing free rentals for this event for us to
sure.
do the
Yep,
formal wear because it was their advertisement because prom season was right around the corner. Hey, come to this shop for the tuxedo.
yep.
I opted to not do that and I just wore a normal suit that I already had in my closet. Like I wore my normal suit from junior formal and then I wore like the school colors of like red shirt, black tie.
Okay.
And so I wasn't wearing like proper formal attire. But to your point, no, I did not go with the Dumb and Dumber tuxes. I totally should have. Jess probably would have been on board with like where, like if I wore the orange one, she probably would wear like a blue dress to,
Yeah,
get the reference.
yeah.
I totally
Of
should have. You're
course.
right. If I could go back in time, I would do it.
Yeah,
But
I. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please.
I was going to say to answer your question that this whole thing started on, that particular comedy set, the whole
Oh,
reason I even did this so I could do 5 minutes of stand up. I went, I did it. It was very, you could tell I had listened to a lot of George Carlin at the time because I got very nitpicky in details and this doesn't make sense. And, how in math class do you have an imaginary number? If you're imagining it, it's not real. Why are you calculating? None of this makes sense. I know I just did it in a very Seinfeld voice, but it was very
oh my
Carlin-y in the
God, that's
writing.
great. I want this video. I want this video.
See, this video I would proudly rewatch because I'm actually proud of the writing. For like little
I want
17, 18-year-old me, I'm very happy with it.
Oh, I'm calling your parents like tomorrow and being like, "Yo, I need these old Patrick Bean videos."
We are working as if I have people. No, my parents and I have talked. We got to get all of these mini DV tapes
Um,
onto DVD so I can, one, they can throw out the old tapes, and then two, I can just
yeah,
have the little DVD collection, my little performance library out here in Arizona. But,
yeah.
just so I can watch
Wow.
back memories. But no, so I did that bit. It went really well, and it's pretty cool. So my parents were taping it, as we obviously just established, but you can see there's a couple students who, when I'm making fun of math class and how a bunch of these things do not make sense, as I'm walking off stage, there's a couple students that actually get up and give me a standing ovation.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think between just how good I felt walking off stage, because I know I did well, like at that point, that was easily the best stand out of the three. That was the best stand up performance by a landslide. The jokes were
Cool.
tighter, the writing was good, the structure was there. Every punchline got a good laugh. I got at least one applause break. Like it was a good set. Now it's a very friendly audience. It's a high school beauty pageant for funsies,
Yeah.
So positive audience. Everyone's already won the crowd over with everything else. But I just felt so great where I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I wish I didn't have to stop at 5 minutes. Like, I can't wait to go again. So, yes. So, that I think is
Bro,
what made me turn the corner of like, this is definitely what I want to do.
that's awesome. It was just one of those things that when we were putting this like episode together, I was like, I was trying to think of like questions to ask you, and the first thing I thought of was, I know so much about college you that I didn't know like where you actually
High school
started. So
me.
that's, bro,
Mm-hmm.
that's no, I shouldn't say that it was high school you. Is that I didn't know if you started comedy in college. That's what I was trying to get. Like I didn't know what your teenage uh stand-up comedy was like. You know what? Actually, it brings me to one real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Is I remember those talent shows, from my school, and I didn't do too many of the talent shows. I did other. So we had a magic show that we always did. So I was on the magic show, of course. And then like there was another one that was like it was called Art Saves Lives. So it was kind of like a fundraiser, and
Mm-hmm.
all performative art was for something. I can't remember what
Yeah.
the charity was at this point, but anyway, um, the there was a talent show that I remember going to, and there was a kid that was a stand-up comedian, and I never thought to think like, oh, I wonder if he ever made it. And I remember the one thing was like he was essentially hosting the show, and then
Mm-hmm.
he was also then doing his like 2 3 minute bit. Um, so he was one of the acts as well as the host, is what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
in English. Uh, and I remember that like throughout the night, he kept coming back in different outfits. And it was like, here he is in a different thing, but it was still similar. So you could tell it was him.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the craziest two that he came out with is he came out and he had very curly hair, and he came out and like half his head was shaved off.
Oh, wow.
And then like yeah, yeah, exactly. And then like, while he's out on stage, they shave the rest of it off. Like, so you already
Oh,
knew what
that's
he was getting
great.
into. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, and I remember that. And like, yeah, that's I mean, that was, I think that act particularly was a year that I came back to visit my friends who were then senior years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this would have been my college. So this would have been like 2003-ish. And I went back to my high school's talent show and saw that. And I always remember that kid. So some kid, yeah, I gotta look that kid up. That's crazy. Bro, I love where we went with this. I have so many more questions about young Patrick Bean and choosing this out. I've thought of so many stories to tell you about magic, but we
Perfect.
we have we have definitely
Scribble
hit
them
our
all down
time.
so we can do it for the next episode. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've
Yeah.
definitely
Scribble
we've
it down.
definitely hit
We'll
our
talk about you
time.
next time.
Oh God, let's not. Let
Let's.
me
No, let's.
let me
Let's,
smoke those
George.
memories away. I
We all float down here, Georgie.
you and that damn reference. With that being said, I mine are. So what did you say your tapes were on? What kind of tape? D
They were mini DVs.
Mini DVs. Those were the square ones.
They were not quite square. They were still rectangular. They looked like shrunken down cassettes.
Okay, I don't remember those.
A little
I
blockier, like thicker than like for the, like, the ratio, but like they were like tiny little rectangular tapes. Yeah, I mean, they
Okay.
look like
Yeah, I don't.
mini, like tiny VHS tapes.
Yeah, I don't remember those ones. I had a couple different ones, but all of my tapes of everything is still on like old VHS. So
Hmm.
luckily my conversion is still, okay to find. That yours you're gonna like have to like probably get the old camcorder out and record it onto something or something, right?
No, there's businesses that you can just hand
Okay.
them basically whatever medium and they can throw it on a DVD for you.
You're always thinking about the easy way to do it. I'll just hire someone. I'm like, no, I'm like gonna get my old camcorder out. What the hell am I doing? You're right.
Dude, the
We should
technology
just
you're gonna
hire people to do
need.
this. Yeah,
There's people with the setup where they can do it, and
you're
it's only
right.
gonna take as long as to play it through on the VHS to digitally record it, then you put it on the DVD or the thumb drive or whatever, and
I
then that's
get
it.
it.
And then you have the copy.
I get it. You're smarter than me. Got it.
I didn't say smarter because here's the thing.
I
You
would
would
have
have to
never
sit there and
thought
figure
that.
out to plug in the camera into the VCR, which then plugs into the DVD player. You got to turn the TV on channel 3. You got to hit
This
play and record on the VCR, and then also have your laptop plugged in, and you got to download it at the same time and let it screen share. You're going to take 20 steps. You're going to do it on your own much cheaper. There's going to be some trial and error along the way.
this
But
this is me to a T, dude. That's the problem is that
I
sometimes
know
no
what
matter
I said, what I said.
no matter what theaters I work in, no matter how much technology I learn, sometimes mine goes back to like the analog brain, and I just go, "Oh, well, this is how I did it in school. I transferred VHSs this way to the other VHS." And that's what I was joking about, like college radio. Sometimes I go, "Oh, what are we doing? We're just kids fucking around," and then I go, "Oh no, I'm in my 40s."
Yeah, no, we're adults. I know. I have to get over that hump too. That was kind of what we were initially planning on maybe talking about. And then we just went off the rails in a wonderful direction. Spoke about high school me.
Well, this has been a fun one. I don't know where the
It
hell we
has.
went, but I loved it. We were definitely down the Patrick Bean train. I love that. I have to make a call to your parents. So, so if you are listening to us, you've enjoyed what you've liked to hear. If you, oh my God, how about English this time, George? Jesus, I have
Actually,
smoked
if you
way.
could try it in Swahili, I'd appreciate it if you could speak that language.
I don't even want to try that.
I don't even know what it would sound like, quite frankly. I know it's a reference. That's it. Go on.
Wow. So, anyway, if you are listening to this, if you've actually listened to us this entire time, God bless you. Thank you for listening to us. We don't know where the hell we're going with this. As Patrick said on this episode, we can't get much worse, so you got to get only get better. No, we love what
No,
we
I know.
do. We love what we do. Thank you for being here on the A Bit Delayed podcast. My name is George G, joined, of course, by my co-host, Patrick Bean. You can reach us again at abitdelayed@gmail.com. Patrick, where can they reach you and hear about you and your tour and all that stuff?
On TikTok, if that's still a thing, because who knows? Apparently, it's getting banned again. Somebody told me. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all at Patrick Bean Comedy. You can also find me at patrickbeancomedy.com. George, what about you?
Yeah, basically just search the words George G Magic. That's last name is spelled Gee, so George G Magic. Pretty much at almost everything Patrick said, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And of course, coming soon, we have some of the live shows that Patrick and I are trying to do. We'll be announcing them shortly here. Hopefully, coming to a city next to you. Reach out to us if you're thinking about bringing in shows with comedy, magic, improv. We do it all, and we'd love to hear you around. For the A Bit Delayed podcast, thank you so much. Catch you next time.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Theme song by Tash Nilsson. Check out all his great music on Spotify.